Welcome, brother. I am Antonius, a novice like you. I've been instructed to guide you around the monastery and tell you what you can expect and what your duties will be.
Thanks for helping me out during the ceremony. I had no idea what I was supposed to do.
You don't know Latin, do you? Don't worry. Work in the scriptorium will teach you fast enough. Why exactly are you here? Was it your choice? Or did someone force you to come?
Being here in the monastery is my dream come true. Being a monk is so exciting.
Well, no one's ever said that before. I'm curious if you'll still be singing the same tune in a month's time.
Would you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a novice and I'm here because I'd make a poor merchant. I like books and I want an education. Although I must say, so far the monastic life's been quite unexpected.
Let's go then.
Good. But before we do, here's a letter directly from the prior telling you all your regular duties from tomorrow onwards. Make sure to read it this evening, so you know how things work. Right, we can go now. Follow me closely. I'll explain everything as we go. Remember one word: discipline. It's your job to work and pray. You serve the Lord now, not your own bodily needs.
Salve, be well.
Taste these morsels for themselves and give us the slop that's left over.
This is the way to the dormitory, where we all sleep. You'll find a free bed there, which is now yours. Do you know the first thing the monastery taught me? To appreciate sleep. We rise before dawn every day.
Salve, Domine.
Takes a bit of getting used to.
Peace be with you, brother.
Abominable waste of punch. People have no respect.
This is the garden, a place for silent contemplation and meditation. Centuries ago, this monastery was founded by the most esteemed of brothers, Saint Procopius. His earthly remains can be found in a cave under the monastery, and his spirit wanders the corridors at night, punishing any misbehaving novices. So beware. Here are the frattery and scriptorium, together with the library. These are the places where we work. Ora et labora. Pray and work. As a novice, you must always listen to your superior brethren. And above us monks are the prior and the circators, who punish every infraction. You'll know them by the canes they carry. Do what they say. This is the refectory, where we come together to eat. During meals, you must be silent. Only one brother reads aloud from the Rule of Saint Benedict.
The rule is the only law we recognize, with the exception of those from God himself. If you break any of its precepts, expect a swift punishment. But I've already told you about the circuitors. The library, the pride of our monastery, a trove of learning. We don't just read books here, we also copy them. You too will learn how. And that's all. Today you are still free from duty, but tomorrow you begin work like the others. If you need anything, ask any of the brothers. We will be glad to help you. And I recommend you get to know the other novices. You already know me. Then there is Siskin, Yodok, and Lucas.
Thanks for showing me around. There's a lot to learn here. I need to make a confession.
I'm no priest, but tell me what you've done. It's probably nothing to worry about.
I'm here in the monastery looking for a thief. He had a hand in burning down the Neuhof stud.
You don't say. And who are you to take such an interest?
Someone whose job it is to investigate the case, find the perpetrators and make sure they get the punishment they deserve.
Punishment? Do you intend to punish them here, in the monastery?
I don't know yet. I'm still just on their trail. Perhaps you could help me find him?
The missing thief? If I knew anything, I'd tell you, but I suppose it must be one of the novices. I've only recently heard about the Neuhof incident, and all the other brethren have been here much longer than that.
I know. Aside from me, there are only 4 novices, but still, I don't know which one he could be.
3? Please, leave me out of it. And you're right that it could be any one of them. No one knows anything about Lukas. Siskin might be a lot of things, but a monk isn't one of them. And Yodok is a slimy worm. It wouldn't surprise me if he was behind that massacre. Actually, the more I think about it, the less I like that Yodok. He's a treacherous rat who'd do anything to get in someone's good books. The thought of Yodok at Neuhof sends chills up my spine.
Maybe you're right. It's not a pretty thought. Thanks for your help, and please don't say a word to anyone.
Don't fret, my friend. Your secrets are locked inside my lips.
It occurred to me you might be the man to ask. I'm looking for some lockpicks. Do you know anyone in the monastery who could help me?
Lockpicks? You surprise me, brother. And you, a nobleman's son. But you could ask Brother Salarius. They say he used to be a thief.
Will you tell me something about yourself?
There's not much to tell. I lived in Vlashim, and after my father died, I found out I wasn't much of a merchant. So I left the shop to my brother, and decided to become a monk. It's peaceful here. There's food and lots of time to read.
So you chose to come here?
It may seem strange, but I'm one of the few novices that did. I might be the only one. The truth is, the idea of spending my life in a monastery was more appealing than being cooped up in a greasy old shop.
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. Who's in charge of things around here?
Truthfully, everyone except us. But officially, Abbot Peter. And soon enough, someone else. As if it mattered. Our life will still be work and prayer.
I see. Are there any rifts between the brothers?
Yes. From the moment talk began about electing a new abbot, it's been like a hornet's nest here. Strange you haven't noticed.
Tell me something about electing the abbot.
Abbot Peter is old. When he dies, they'll have to select a new abbot from amongst the brethren. The candidates are John and Nevlas. And if you ask me for my opinion, Nevlas is definitely the right man. Unfortunately, no one cares about my opinion because novices get no say.
What are the roles of the various monks here?
Someone takes care of the library, someone else the garden. The abbot supervises everyone, and in his absence, the prior. But it's the circators you should worry about. They're the brothers who'll make sure we observe the rule. They can be quite strict, so if you want to avoid getting punished, always act righteously and do your duties honestly.
I'm Gregor and I'm new here.
I know. I saw you in the church during ceremony. I have the feeling we'll be meeting again soon, and often. You see, I'm the circator.
What does that mean?
I make sure everyone observes the rule, does their work, and that everything's the way it should be.
And when it's not the way it should be?
Then we're authorized to mete out punishments. But certainly you won't require correction, will you, brother?
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. What can you tell me about the novices here?
What can I say? You're here to demonstrate your devotion to God and to live a monastic life. After a year, you can make your vows and become a fully fledged brother.
I meant something specific about the brothers that are here.
But you know them yourself. Yorick is an odd one, but he's diligent and eager. Perhaps too eager. Siskin is good company, but a bit too worldly for a monk. Antonius is hardworking and will help with anything, but prays less than he ought. Lucas is as quiet as a mouse and no one knows much about him. And then we have you, about who I know nothing.
Can you leave the monastery?
Well, where would you go? You have everything you need here. Anyway, all the doors here are closed and locked tight so no one can get in or out.
He'll still be on this earth for many years to come.
I wish all good health upon him, but I want change, and only a new abbot can bring that.
Waiting pays off. There's no hope.
Peace be with you, brother.
For it is written, in much speaking, not escape sin. And in another place, death and life are in the power of the tongue. For speaking and teaching belong to the master. The disciple of the heart is to be silent and to listen. And for that reason, if anything has to be asked of the superior, it should be asked with all the humility and submission inspired by reverence. But as for coarse gentlemen, name of abbot, he ought to govern his disciples.
Greetings, brother. I'm Gregor, and I'm new here.
that is to
Greetings
say,
to you, brother.
show them all that is
I'm
right
Yodok,
and holy.
the oldest of the novices. I hope you'll like it here in the monastery and that you won't get into trouble.
Words
Trouble?
intelligent among his disciples.
You're young,
But
perhaps intemperate.
divine precepts
You might easily stray from the rules of the order. I suggest you get to know the older monks.
always
You never
remember
know when it might come in handy.
what he is called, and should know that to whom more is
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery.
him more is required. Let him make no distinction of persons. in
Tell me
the
something about life here.
Let him not love one
Work,
more than
prayer,
another,
work,
unless it be
prayer.
one whom
As
he
if you
finds
didn't
better
know.
in good works.
We serve God, and that's the central truth
Let
of our
him not
lives.
shut his eyes to the faults of offenders, but since
Well,
he
that's
has
all.
the authority, let
Thank
him
you for your
cut
time,
out
brother.
Those faults by the roots as soon as they begin to appear. Remembering the fate of Heli, the priest of Silence, the well-disposed and those of good understanding, let him correct the verbal admonition first and second time. But bold, hard, proud, and disobedient characters, he should curb at the very beginning of their dealing with stripes and other bodily punishments, knowing that it is written, "The fool is not correct."
You've got a strong constitution. Anyone else would have certainly died.
What happened?
Let me tell you a little story. Once upon a time, there was a young boy. He was lost and miserable. He had no future. He was tempted by his friends into doing some foolish things, but he wasn't truly bad, because when it came down to it, he ran away rather than keep doing foolish deeds. His former friends didn't take kindly to that, though, and wanted to punish him. So they sent a hunting dog to find him and rip his throat. The boy wasn't stupid, though, and he knew that the hound was coming. He poisoned some food, and when the hound showed up, he gave it to him. He didn't expect the beast to live, but it did. And all of a sudden, the boy was sorry for what he tried to do. So he offered to make a bargain with the hound.
I think I understand you. But the beast would need to know what deal he's being offered.
You know, we're both pawns in someone else's game. They have plans for us, but we don't have to let them use us. We can just forget all about it and go our own way. I was a bandit, and I was at Nyhoff. I've robbed and stolen, but I swear to God I've never in my life slain innocent people. What I saw at Nyhoff made me realize my life was worth shit, but I still had a chance to change for the better. Here in the monastery I've had plenty of time to think things over, but then you showed up and fucked it all up.
So the evildoer changes his ways and finds God. And what exactly are you proposing?
Both of us can leave this place. You can go back to your people, and I can go somewhere where I can live out my life in peace, and no one will try to kill me. If we work together, we can both get what we want.
You're right. But the people who sent me will find out if I don't kill you.
They won't if we're clever about it. No one has to die. Before we make a run for it, we'll make it look like someone's killed me. Loads of blood, a tattered scrap of my habit, and footprints leading towards the river. No one will bother looking for my body there. There we'll split up. You go for your bounty, and I'll get as far away from here as I can.
Good. Let's do it your way.
Good. I'm glad that despite our initial discord, we could reach an agreement. Here, take something to calm your stomach. Now we'll need the keys to the monastery and some blood to make the tracks.
What are you going to do?
I need to get ready for a long journey. Prepare supplies, get some normal clothing somehow, that sort of thing. You can escape in that habit, but I need to vanish as fast as I can.
What do I need the keys to the monastery for?
How else will we get out? This place is practically a prison.
Getting the keys won't be easy.
I know, but Brother Solarius is a reformed thief. I'll bet he still has a few lockpicks lying about. If you know how to use them, They'll be worth finding. Or there's the hard way. Steal the keys from the prior. He carries them with him at all times.
They both sound hard to me. But needs must. And where am I supposed to get my hands on blood in a monastery?
You'll find a parchment in the kitchen with a list of ingredients on it. All the things they're ordering. Add blood for making soup to the list. And when it's delivered the next day, take it before anyone notices it's even come.
All right, that's everything I need to know. I can get started.
Excellent. Come and see me once you have everything. And try to be as fast as you can. And Gregor, thank you.
What do we have here? A nice sharp dagger. Now what would a monk need that for?
Everlasting. As soon as anything has been ordered by the superior, receive it as a divine command and cannot suffer any delay in executing it. But this
Talk to me,
very
brother.
obedience will be acceptable to God and pleasing to men only if what is
I found a dagger in your stash.
without hesitation.
And why shouldn't you have?
Delay,
I did hide it there after all.
grumbling, or
Do you often go through other people's belongings?
obedience given to superiors is given to God. For if the
Well then,
disciple
I have a
obeys
question
his
for you.
will and
I think you know what it is.
not necessarily
What does a monk need a dagger for?
his heart,
That
even
dagger's
though
the only
he
thing I have
fulfills
left
the
of my
command,
father.
yet his word
It was in our old shop, under the counter.
God.
Father kept it there to protect himself from thieves.
And far from
When I was
being
little,
adored for
I admired that dagger so much.
will incur the
I
punishment
asked Father
of
if he'd give it to me when I was
murderer
older.
unless he amend
He always said yes, but only after he was dead.
The rule of Saint Benedict. Readings on the abbot.
Go on,
Therefore,
please.
when anyone receives the name of
Now
abbot,
Father's dead and I'm
ought to
here.
govern his disciples
That
with a
piece of
twofold
steel is the only thing I have left from the outside
That
world.
is to say,
I know
he
it's
should
not
show them
suitable
all
for a
that is
monk, but
good and holy,
I can't part
by
with
his
it.
deeds even more
Now you can
by
give
his
it back to
words,
me. Thou
expounding
shalt
the
not
Lord's
steal.
commandments in words to the intelligent among his disciples, but demonstrating the divine precepts by his actions for those of harder hearts and ruder
I don't have
minds.
it with me now.
The abbot should
Well,
always
I'd be
remember
grateful
what
if you
he
brought
is
it back
and
to
what
me.
he is called.
It would grieve
And
me
should
to lose
know
it.
that to whom more is committed, from him more is required. Let him make no distinction of persons in the monastery. Let him not love one more than another, unless it be one whom he
I'd like
finds
to ask you
better
something
in good
about the
works
monastery.
or in obedience. And let him not shut his eyes
Well, that's
to
all.
the faults of offenders.
Thank you for your time, brother.
But since he has the authority, let him cut out those
God.
This very obedience will be acceptable to God and pleasing to men only if what is commanded is done without hesitation. Delay, lukewarmness, grumbling, or objection. For the obedience given to superiors is given to God. For if the disciple obeys with an ill will and murmurs, not necessarily with his lips but simply in his heart, then even though he fulfills the command, yet his word will not be acceptable to God, who sees that his heart is murmuring. And from Easter until the calends of October. When they come out from
Brother?
in the morning, let them labor at whatever is
Brother
necessary
Cyril mentioned
until
that you
about the
didn't
fourth
submit your
hour.
parchments in the
From fourth
scriptorium.
hour until about
Do you not
6,
enjoy
let them
copying
apply
books?
themselves
Or
to
are you
read.
just willfully shirking your
After the
responsibilities?
6th hour, having left the table, let them rest on their beds.
I was
in
feeling a bit
perfect
queasy.
silence, or if anyone
Brother,
may want to read, let him
save
do
your
it to himself
excuses
in
for
such a
someone
way
else.
as not to disturb
This is your
anyone
second
else.
warning.
Let
Do it
none
again
set
and you
rather
will be punished.
early at the middle of the 8th hour, and let them again do what work has been done until vespers. Weak or sickly brethren should be assigned a task or craft of such a nature as
What
to
is it, brother?
idleness, at the same time not to overburden them, and drive them into incessant toil.
I have everything we need for the escape.
Excellent. Straight after Vespers, we'll meet in the dormitory. We'll have to get it all done before the monks have finished dinner.
What exactly is your plan? And why can't we do it at night?
We're going to prepare a little riddle they'll never solve. And why at mealtime? Because we need the dormitory as well as the church to be empty. Then at night we'll escape. Do you follow? Take everything with you and don't forget the keys.
Good. Once evening mass ends, I'll be in the dormitory.
The more of the punishment for sin make us avoid evil words. Therefore, since the spirit of silence is so important, permission to speak should rarely be granted even to perfect disciples, even though it be for good, holy, edifying conversation. For it is written, in much speaking you will not escape sin. And in another place, death and life are in the power of the tongue. For speaking and teaching belong to the master. The disciples' part is to be silent and to listen. Mission inspired by reverence. But as for
Praise be to God. For a moment there, I was worried you weren't coming. Give me that blood. This is the exact spot where you pushed me off the gallery. And here's where you dragged my lifeless body. Thank you for helping me out. Now we must each go our own way.
Well, I can't just let you leave. You're a criminal.
What are you on about? Did you really help me escape just to portray me?
I'm truly sorry, but you were there at the Neuhoff massacre, and you're a valuable witness. I'm taking you to the bailiff.
Gregor, you can't be serious. I thought I won't be taken anywhere. I'd rather die than lose my freedom.
Yeah! I'm over here! Oh dear, did I hurt? I'm gonna enjoy this.
This is one of the men who raised Neuhoff. He should be able to tell you something useful. But I need to ask a favor. I need you to keep him out of sight so his accomplices don't know he's been caught.
Fine work, and I'll do as you say. I'll find a deep, dark hiding place where no one will hear me interrogate him. And while we're at it, I'll have your things brought here. Wait here a while.
What the?
Yeah!